Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our Tech Tuesday today. The topic of today's training is assistive technology for outdoor recreation. Can we go to the next slide, please? Just a couple housekeeping items before we get started. I think Abby covered most of this, but we're really informal in these sessions, and so we welcome questions throughout the session today. You're welcome to raise your hand, unmute, type in the chat, however you're most comfortable. Abby will be reading the chat so that everyone has access to what is being said. And so feel free to ask questions or interject whenever you feel the need to do so. And we are also going to be asking a few questions of you during our time together today, just to keep things interactive. We want to know some things about what you know and what you like around assistive technology. So hopefully we'll have a good conversation. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so my name is Laura Hall, and I am an AT specialist with Michigan Disability Rights Coalition and the Michigan Assistive Technology Program. Every state has a state assistive technology program, and in Michigan, ours is located at MDRC. A quick visual description of myself. I am a white woman sitting in a power wheelchair. I have long brown hair and black rimmed glasses, and my background is my kind of cluttered office with a window in the back. Jaleesa, would you like to introduce yourself?
There, I'm Jileesa Irwin, and I'm MATP's outdoor recreation specialist. Visual description of myself is I am a white woman. My hair is in a messy bun, and today I am wearing a green long sleeve shirt.
And Abby also introduced herself, but just as a reminder, Abby Squires is our chat moderator today. So if you have any questions, Abby's there to be our support today. For access, I'm just going to describe the picture on the slide, which is a picture of a sunflower with a sunset in the background. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So I want to start off talking just a little bit about the Michigan Assistive Technology Program, what assistive technology is, and what it is that our program does. So we define assistive technology, or AT if we are abbreviating it, as any item, piece of equipment, software, or product system that is used to help people with disabilities, including older adults, do what they want to do. So a lot of people think that assistive technology is typically like wheelchairs and walkers and durable medical equipment, and it certainly does include that. But it also can include things that are lower tech, like a medication reminder, pill reminder system, or even elastic shoelaces, something low tech like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be high tech or have a battery to be considered assistive technology. So our program, the MATP, Michigan Assistive Technology Program, provides AT related supports around the state. So we can serve statewide. Normally, we provide hands-on demonstrations of AT devices. During COVID, we've been doing things a little bit differently, providing demonstrations virtually and mailing items to people if they're looking for device demonstration. We will be going to face-to-face services shortly, but for the moment, we are doing virtual demonstrations of AT devices. We provide awareness information about our program and about assistive technology in general. We provide trainings like we are today. Um, we partner with United Cerebral Palsy, which is also a nonprofit organization, to provide the Michigan Assistive Technology Loan Program. And this is a program that is a financial loan program specifically for the purchase of assistive technology items. And the folks at the loan program try to work with applicants to find a loan agreement that will work for their budget and work for what they need. We also have our atexchange.org website, and that is kind of like a Craigslist of disability related equipment. So if folks have used assistive technology related equipment that they are looking to sell, they can post it up on the AT Exchange. Folks that are looking for that can find those listings. And then if you have a need for an assistive technology item, you can also post a want ad on our AT Exchange and folks can see that. So this is a way to connect seller or donator to somebody who is buying or looking for the device. And a lot of people are able to buy used assistive technology or actually free assistive technology that's being donated that way. So that's a good resource we want you to know about. And the picture on this slide is just of a simple medication reminder um, Sunday through Monday, weekly medication reminder. Can we go to the next slide? So we just want to talk a little bit about the AT devices that we use. We've put some of our favorites of the AT team up here on the slide. So looking at the right-hand side of the slide for me, there's a picture of a power wheelchair. This is obviously one of my favorite pieces of assistive technology. I spend most of my time in my wheelchair. It's fit for me. It's part of my identity. I take pride in it. So it's definitely my favorite piece, not to mention that it helps me get everywhere that I need to go. Also pictured on the slide is the 30-day medication reminder system. So this is a tray system of 30 different daily reminder pill reminder boxes, and you can set them up for the month. You have a red side on one side and a green side on the other. So if it's red, you can show that the pills have been taken. If they've not been taken, you can flip them on the other side and see that that side is green. The medication reminder system also has an option that comes with an alarm system to remind you to take your pills at certain times. Um, Abby, do you want to talk a little bit about closed captions? I know this is one of your favorites.
Sure, yeah. That's a huge assistive technology that I like to use. For me, just hearing just hearing people talking, like I understand it a little bit, but I need to be able to read it and hear it, and it makes it so much easier for me, and I can take everything in more, and it just makes everything more accessible. And if it isn't for you, you always have the option of turning it off.
I like it as well too. I don't have a hearing disability, but it just helps with comprehension for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people use map systems, GPS. I know I couldn't get anywhere without it, so we have a picture of an iPhone with the Maps app on here. And we wanted to ask you, what AT devices are you fond of? What do you use? Just kind of start out this conversation with finding out what people like. Again, you can share in the chat, unmute yourself, raise your hand.
And while people are typing or thinking of what they use, Jileesa, did you want to mention any AT that you like to use?
I definitely like using Google Maps. I like that it tells me where I'm going, and you can adjust the noise level of the person's voice, and you can also change the voices if there's not a voice that you like. And I like to know where I'm going before I go there. So it's really beneficial that I can scope out a place before I decide to go. And this is really an awesome app to use for hunting and fishing spots too. You can see what the surroundings areas are of the places that you want to go.
Love that satellite view.
Yes.
And we have a couple people in the chat saying that they always use captioning while watching TV. She said, I usually have caption subtitles on when I watch TV. And then Bethany says, I like my magnifying glasses to read small print on food packages and medications. And I did just want to take a second because I'm very guilty of this. If we could try and talk a little slower, it might make it a little easier for our interpreters and our captioners. I just get excited. Paul says elastic shoestring, which also I read that there's also the magnetic clasps for shoelaces too, which is really cool. All right, and if anyone else has something, feel free to add it in there. If we already go past a slide and you still have a comment, we don't mind going back and discussing, or I can still just drop that comment in.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Can we go to the next slide, Kelly? Okay. So I just want to talk a little bit about MDRC and MDRC's vision to give you an idea of the perspective that we're coming from when we talk about people with disabilities and assistive technology. So our vision is MDRC envisions a world where people with disabilities live full lives within the community with equal rights, equity, and opportunities, are valued as essential and vital members of the community, can be their full selves in all of their identities in all aspects of their lives, and have space for self-discovery, to cultivate community, and to develop pride. Um, Most of us at MDRC identify as people with disabilities. We believe that disability is a natural and beautiful part of human diversity, and that it's something that we can take pride in. And we feel like this is kind of counterculture to how people typically think about disability outside of our community, thinking of it as something that is not something desirable, something bad to have, or something that we need to fix. For us, disability really is part of our identities, and we're proud of that. So just wanted to make sure that we touched on our core values. Those run through everything we do, including this presentation today. Can we go to the next slide, Kelly? Thank you. I talked about providing demonstrations and short-term loans, that our program is able to do that. You are able to have an individualized meeting with our outdoor recreation specialist if you would like, who can review how different products work and help compare and contrast different features. We have two ways to request a demonstration. The first one is by calling our demo line, which is 1-800-578-0280. And we also have a link that you can go to request a demonstration and provide a little bit of information about yourself and what you're looking for. And that link is https tinyurl.com / MATP demo DEMO request REQUEST. And Abby, thank you for putting that in the chat. Can we go to the next slide? So our outdoor recreation program is a new program of the MATP. Jileesa's been on our staff since, I believe, when, August, Jileesa?
Yes, August.
Yes, we recognize that one area that we really wanted to fill, an area that doesn't get a lot of attention, is assistive technology for outdoor recreation. And this is an area that we wanted to provide services to people with disabilities for. So just like all of our other programs, we can provide individual demonstrations of the outdoor recreation items that you're going to see today to people with disabilities, including older adults. During COVID, we're doing it on a case by case basis. But like I said, things are changing every day. The demonstrations are individualized to address what the person would like to do, and participants can borrow the assistive technology on a short-term loan. to determine if the item works for them. So typically, if you receive a demonstration, sometimes it's easier to tell if the item will work for you if you're able to try it out in your own environment for a short period of time. And that's why we will offer the short-term loans so that you can try out devices on your own for a shorter period of time before making a decision about whether that's something that you want to buy. What we don't want people to do is buy assistive technology that doesn't work for them. So can we go to the next slide? Just to give you an idea of some of the assistive technology that we have available for demonstration, this isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but we provide assistive technology for community living. So that's things like dressing, bathing, eating, grooming, assistive technology for low vision, assistive technology for mental health and neurodiversity, of course, AT for outdoor recreation. Another one of the newer areas that we've gotten into is AT for gaming. So different ways to access video games and video console systems. One of the areas that I really like doing demonstrations in is AT for gardening. And that's going to be a Tech Tuesday topic next month, AT for gardening. AT for environmental controls, so those things that you can use to control devices in your environment, for example, um, by app or by voice. Um, and then finally, we have assistive technology for parenting with a disability. So that's another new area. Kelly, I think we jumped a couple slides ahead. Um, let's see, we just need to go back to the one more. Okay. And then actually one more after that. And I just finished that slide, so one more. Okay. So Lisa's going to take it away by talking about the different products that we have in our program. Again, it's not an exhaustive list, but we're going to have her take it away with starting with our electric bikes.
All right, thank you, Laura. Kelly, actually, can I have you move back one slide? Down, down. Okay, right there. Okay. Why I don't understand why Liberty Trike's not showing up. There we go. Does that one?
Yeah, I think you're opening up a different one.
I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
One moment, please. My apologies.
Oh, no worries.
I'm going to do a screen share again. It's stuck on this slide.
You might be
Well-
in a maybe a different window. It looks like you're sharing it and like the full screen of it's in the background.
All right, let
then-
me try again.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry,
no problem.
everyone.
If
While
not, Laura,
Kelly's
do you
do-
think you could
Oh.
share your screen? Laura?
Yeah, I can share my screen if
Okay.
we need
Yeah,
to.
no. Awesome. So Jileesa, if you wanted to start talking about, if you have your slide ready.
So we wanted to start the outdoor recreation program with getting people out to where they wanted to go, whether it's your favorite fishing spot, hunting spot, or bird watching spot. And one way we wanted to do that was introduce electric bikes. So we have a variety of different electric bikes and a couple trikes for more stability. And so that was what we really wanted to start the program with. And it looks like Laura has the thing up.
Yes, I just do not. I need to start the slideshow. One
Okay.
second. Yay. All
All
right.
right, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so the first e-bike that we did end up purchasing was the Liberty Trike. And I have an image of the Liberty Trike on here. And it's a green bike with a basket on the back. The Liberty Trike goes up to 12 miles per hour, 8 to 20 miles per charge, which this really depends on how much you use the pedals or just depend on the motor. If you're just depending on the motor, then the charge will not last as long. It has a 300-pound weight capacity. It takes 3 hours to completely charge. And at the widest point of this bike, it is 25 inches. So it will fit through most doors. Next slide. The next e-bike that we have is a Rad Runner 1. It is a fat tire bike. It goes up to 20 miles per hour. It is 45 miles per charge, and the charge time is normally 3 to 7 hours. And the weight capacity of this is 300 pounds. Next slide. All right, and another e-bike that we have is the electric XP step through. The speed goes up to 28 miles per hour, up to 48 miles range per charge, and the charge time is normally 6 to 8 hours on this. The frame design on this e-bike allows you to step into the bike rather than swinging your foot over top, and this has a 330-pound weight capacity. Next slide. And another e-bike or e-trike that we just got is the Ad Motor M350 P7. Ad Motor had recommended this bike to us for more rugged terrain. Our other trike, I mean, that's more for like pavement and things. This one, you can really take out into the woods to your favorite location. This has up to 55 miles per charge, 350 pounds weight capacity, and then 100 pounds payload, which essentially means 450 pounds weight capacity. It goes up to 25 miles per hour, and the charge time is 4 hours. Next slide.
Jileesa,
Yes.
can you please describe the images?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So on the last slide or this slide, we have the Ad Motor trike. This is a trike and it has a basket on the front handlebars, and then in the rear it does have another basket between both wheels, and this trike is red and white, and I believe it has yellow writing that reads Ad Motor.
We do have a question in the chat. How long can a trike be trialed? Like what does that look like?
How long can it be trialed?
Like how long can it be? Like I know we do the demos and I'm assuming they're asking like if it was like a short-term loan, like how long would that be? Laura, do you have that?
Typically we do 2 or 3 weeks as like a basic, usually 2 weeks. If people are requiring it for a little bit longer for whatever reason, we might be able to accommodate that depending on the demand that we have at the time. I would say 2 weeks is kind of our minimum, but you could work with Jileesa or whoever you're working with in our program and to figure out a period of time that would work best for you.
Yeah, and I believe like that's like how our normal demos go. And with this being such a new program for us, like I think that it might vary. So I think that's something if you want to get connected with Jileesa or Laura, that's something you could talk about.
This is Kelly. I have a question and I just wanted to offer some input. For those that do participate in our program, there is a little bit of paperwork involved. We do require some information. However, we take as little information as possible in terms of, we don't require certain demographic information. And I did have a question because I'm super interested in these bikes. However, me having a visual impairment. I don't necessarily recommend me driving one of these bikes. Are there any bikes or trikes that we have that are two-person?
Not that I am aware of. I know for the Rad Runner, you can add on like a back seat to it. My only concern with that is the weight capacity. And then if you had luggage and everything like that, I know there are additional items that you can add to the bikes to make them two-person bikes.
Cool, thank you.
Yes.
And we had another question. Can you ride any of these trikes in the rain?
Yes, and you actually can. I'm going to get to that in a couple slides. You can actually ride these bikes in the snow too. The main concern is you just have to make sure that the batteries are dry after you're done using them, but they're pretty well sealed when attached to the bike. And same with all the components of the bike. You want to make sure that you clean those off and dry them.
Are we good to move on to the next slide?
Yes. All right, so we're going to go into AT for hunting. I have 3 images on the slide. And the first image is of a person sitting in a pop-up blind, and he is pointing a gun out the window. And what's really cool about this blind is the entire side folds up. So it is wheelchair accessible, and there's no ledge to step over to get into the blind or a tiny door. The next image I have is of a large ghillie suit. This is a poncho style ghillie suit, and it is camouflage and you have a hood. This, we found that it fits right over a wheelchair, a larger size electric wheelchair, which is pretty neat. So you can hide all the components of your wheelchair when you go out hunting. And the next image that I have is of a deer cart. This deer cart is black. It kind of has mesh in between the 2 or the 4 tires, and it has a handle on it. So this deer cart is used to carry game out of the wood. It's instead of dragging your game out of the woods. You can also use this for putting wood or coolers or whatever you may need to take with you into your campsite. Next slide, please. So on this slide, I have AT for hunting continued. I have 3 images, and the first image is of a tree deer hoist. And this attaches to the tree with a ratchet strap and a chain. And with this hoist, there is like a wenching mechanism where you can turn the handle and connect your game to the other end of the rope and pull your game up. It makes it easier field dressing or processing your deer. And it's really cool because it can attach to a tree, rather than a lot of times you have these pulley systems in garages and stuff like that. And if you don't have access to that, then this really is beneficial. Another, the third image or the second image that I have is of another type of a deer hoist or a game hoist that attaches to the hitch of your vehicle. And this image is showing it attached to the vehicle. This is a 2-inch hitch post, which is really common for hitches. And you can lower this and make it taller if needed. And again, this has a reel so that you can kind of winch your game up. And the game limit for this is 450 pounds. Next slide. And then I have AT for hunting continued. I have 3 images on this slide. And the first image is of a bodysuit that's camouflage. And they call this the body insulator. This is meant to keep your body heat in the suit while you're hunting. They say it keeps 90% of your body heat inside. It has easy zippers that are also quiet, which is important while hunting. And this goes from this suit goes from your head to your toes. So I know my feet really get cold while hunting. And so this is a really nice insulator to go over my boots, and it's easy slip on and off. The reason for this is to wear less layers out into the woods and then put this on to stay warm. The next image that I have is a heated hand muff. So this will be attached. It can go attached around your waist. It has a strap on it that's adjustable, and you're able to put your hands into the muff part. There is a battery that's rechargeable, and it has 3 different settings on it. So you can do high, medium, or low. And this will, they say that the on high for the heating element lasts 3 to 4 hours, and on low 9 to 10 hours. And then the next image that I have is a marsh seat. This is a seat that folds up. So it's just a post, and then it has a square seat on top of it. And it's made to be easily carried. So you can take it out hunting with you, or you can take it out hiking with you. And at the end of the post, there is like a sharp pointed area, and that will go into the ground. And there are indicators so that you can't push it too far into the ground to make it fall over, anything like that. And like I said, the seat folds right up, and to be a flat surface. There also is a adjustable strap so that you can carry it easily. Next slide. Now we're going to go into AT for fishing. The first item that I have on the slide is a clothespin-like device that at the top has a hole for the eyelet of the fishing lure. The second hole is where you can put your fishing line through, and you're able to twist and tie your knot. And then the third hole is where you can cut your fishing line, the access fishing line that you have. The next image that I have is a bunch of bells that attach to your fishing line. This will indicate that you have a bite while fishing. And underneath that, we have large bobbers that are orange, yellow, and white in color. And these are larger bobbers that are meant to be seen from a far distance. The yellow, I would think, is better than the blue bobbers. So these are really helpful to see out in the distance. And then the last picture I have is of a device that is a fishing rod holder. It has a white PVC pipe look to it with a black attacher that attaches to a wheelchair or a walker or a camping chair. And this device, like I said, just clamps onto your wheelchair, walker, or camping chair. And you can then slide your fishing pole into the white part that has a slit in it. Next slide. Kelly, I see that your hand's up.
So I am loving all of these things, and I don't even camp or fish much, but it seems like these are a lot of really practical things. Are they also practical in price?
I would say so. I can't remember the exact prices at this moment, but I know that we got like, I think 20 bells that attach to your fishing line. I want to say for like $7. The fishing rod holder, I want to say that it was no more than 20. And same with the bobbers. You can get a lot of these bobbers for pretty cheap a piece.
And how about that fantastic hand warmer muff? Because I feel like I need that regardless.
I have found that everything like heat related definitely seems like it's more expensive. That's going into any type of hunting gear. And I don't know why, because it's camouflage, maybe. I have no clue. But I know that the heated hand muff, I want to say, was at least $60. So it's quite pricey.
We do have all of these items listed out on our resource guide, right, Jaleesa?
Yes.
So if
Yes,
folks,
we do.
we have a resource guide available, and Abby, if you could share the link to that, um, people can go check these out. Most of them, I believe we found on Amazon just because it's kind of an easy place to find things and they have good pictures. We're in no way promoting Amazon in any way. It's just the easiest place to sort of find a variety and find good pictures. So shop,
Yes.
shop wherever you would like and be a good consumer of of
Yeah,
AT products.
there are a few things that were even from Etsy that people had made from home, and those are a little bit more pricey, but those are also really cool and more catered to a specific target audience, and they're super helpful. And Kelly, when you're talking about the hand warmer thing, I just wanted to throw it out there that I found some that are like USB that you can use on your hands when you're on the computer, and they're pretty cool.
They also do make ones that attach to the handlebars of your bike too, to keep your hands heated. So
And we have a comment saying, and isn't the great thing about the program, you can try out items before buying because if something costs a little more.
Right. That's
yes.
exactly the point of the device demonstrations. We would rather you try it and decide that it doesn't work for you and not spend your money than find it that it works fantastically. And we would love that you find it works fantastically too. But if not, that's a great thing to know before you buy. So absolutely.
Yes. All right. So next I have AT for ice fishing. Um, the first image that I have on here is of an ice scoop. The neat thing about this ice scoop is that it's 30 inches long. So the handle would be 30 inches. And the scoop itself, I want to say, is a 8-inch scoop. So it would fit into an 8-inch hole, which that's important when you're ice fishing, because if you have a 6-inch hole trying to use an 8-inch scoop, it doesn't really work out. So another cool thing about this is that it does have a rope at the end of it. So you're able to put it around your wrist and it won't go for a swim. And another cool feature is that this has indicators of how many inches a fish may be. And those are uh, like a risen line on the handle of this ice scoop. So I thought that was pretty cool. And
Oh,
also the fact that, yes,
that's
it's
like a
hard to see
secondary
in,
tool, right? I mean, you're not using
yes, so
while
you
you're
can,
scooping it out, but you can use that afterward to measure your fish.
yes, and see if
Very
it's within, this specifics. Um, so, and I like this one because I don't have to bend over and scoop the ice out of my fishing hole. The next image I have is of a white 5-gallon bucket, and this has attached to it a device that literally just slips onto the bucket, and it's to hold your fishing rod. So you'd slip this device onto the bucket and you would be able to put your fishing rod at the top of it, and you can use it hands free so that you can put them in the heated muff thing, hand muff. And then the last image I have here is of a drill and then a anchor adapter. So this anchor adapter goes over any T-shaped anchor. It's really difficult to twist in your anchors for ice shanties or whatever you need to anchor down onto the ice. So this adapter really helps using drill power to do this. I know in past experience that I've tried to do the T-shaped anchors to put down an ice shanty and it just chipped away the ice. Um, we ordered one of these and it put the anchor in the ice, no problem.
Also, I see that Kelly's hand was up. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Oh, yes, Kelly.
Oh, she put in the chat. Can you use the ice scoop to measure the ice?
Yes, you can. Um, I I would think so. I think that the indicators on these, for someone who has low vision, um, they're rows up off of the handle, so you'd be able to count them. Also, you'll be able to see them if you have your vision.
Next slide.
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, next we have AT for bird watching. I have 3 images on the slide. The first image is of a harness for binoculars. This is really good for keeping your binoculars close to your body. So if you are hiking through the woods or going up mountains or whatever it may be, your binoculars stay close to your body, so there's less sway, less ability for them to break. And another cool thing about this is it's less strain on your neck compared to just the neck strap um, devices, I guess. So this is a really cool device, and it also has adjustable straps on it. The next image is of a mononocular. This is a mini scope, so it would be just one of the lenses for a binocular. And this comes with a hand strap. You can use only one eye for this. And the strap looks like a camcorder strap, so it'd be easy to hold securely. And the next image I have is a phone adapter for binoculars. And I believe you can use these on the mononoculars also. And what this does is you slide the large circle at the top of the adapter onto your circle piece of the binocular. And then you put your phone into the adapter area of it in which this adjusts, and this will hold almost all phones. One particular thing that I did find we had difficulty doing is on camera phones that have multi lenses. You have to figure out which lens your camera is using. But once you find the correct one and get everything focused, this does make a larger image. Next slide. And now we're going on to AT for camping. I have 3 images on the slide, and the first image is of a gray cot that is lifted off the ground. This cot is wider and it can hold up to 600 pounds. It is 15 inches off the ground and has a dual layer of fabric, and it's easily folded up and can be put into a carrying bag. The next image is a headlamp that wraps around your head, just with a single strap. I know that there are ones with a strap that goes across the top of your head and then around it. This strap is adjustable, and to turn on this light is a push button. And I believe this one has 2 settings, so a high setting and a low setting, and it's perfect for hands-free, which makes it really awesome for camping and carrying campfire wood, or going out and tracking game or whatever it may be.
Jileesa, I remember we actually took a camping trip and I used this headlamp at night,
Yes,
and it was easy to drive my power chair around our campsite and still be able to see
yes.
where I was going. So that's
Yeah, and
another
the
cool way you could use it.
right, and the push button is fairly easy to push too. I know that some other headlamps, they have a switch that slides left to right and maybe a little difficult to use at times. And somehow I have the one with the switch, and somehow I always turn on the red light when I want the white light to happen, which is quite annoying. So yeah, I really like this headlamp. And then the last image that I have on this slide is of a 10 by 10 6-person pop-up tent. So what's really cool about this is that all of the poles are built into it. So like the pop-up blind, you're able to just pull out the poles onto like the material of the tent, and this will have your tent set up in seconds. The only poles that are not attached are the rainfly poles. And this tent is, I want to say 78 inches tall, and there's no assembly required. So it's just a quick setup.
And are you able to roll over those poles fairly easily? Is that why they are built
This,
into the?
yeah. So a lot of blogs have suggested this tent for wheelchair users. I'm guessing that's because of the give of the tent. You're able to roll over it.
Thing?
And then lastly, I have AT for winter and e-bikes. This is just specifically going towards the tires of the e-bikes and being able to ride them in the winter. So I have found two options. The first image on this slide is of a tire with little silver spikes in it. And this gives you traction to stay on the ice or in the snow. Um, and these come in all different sizes. The only downfall to this is that you would have to change out the tire on the rim of your bike, unless if you wanted to get 2 sets of rims for your bicycle. So that's the only problem that I've really found with this. The next image is of a 26-inch bike tire, and this one is of snow chains. And with this, they're super easy to get on and off. So instead of changing the entire tire, you just slip on the snow chains and you're ready to go. One problem that has been brought to my attention about this is the clearance between the bicycle and the chain. So it might get caught up on the frame of your bike or the brakes of your bike. So you want to make sure you have enough clearance for snow tire chains.
Next slide.
Yep. And then I have another slide for AT for winter. And the first image is of a device that attaches to a crutch, a cane, walkers. And this has 5 prongs that go to the bottom or the foot of whatever device you're using. And this clips or screws right onto your device. So there's a clamp, and then you use a screw to tighten it to whatever you are using. And this basically just gives walkers, canes, crutches more stability in the snow and for them not to slip. And then the last image I have is of a pair of boots with traction cleats on them. So these traction cleats attach to your boot by a rubber piece going at your heel and your toe. That's the main parts where they connect to your boot. And then they have chains coming down from them. And on the bottom, they have diamond beads that give you more traction. On the website of these cleats, they do have where you can find what exact size you need, because they come in sizes small to extra large. And so depending on your boot size, then you can determine what size you would need to get for the traction cleats. And next slide. And then finally, the last slide that I have is apps for outdoor recreation. So first off, I want to talk about the Michigan DNR accessibility website. This is a really cool website where you can find accessible beaches, cabins, camping areas, fishing, hunting, kayak launches, shooting ranges, and accessible trails. They also offer a place to put a reservation in for track chairs, and that's only at certain state parks. But I thought that was a really cool feature that it had. And the next app, and this also can be a website too, is it's called All Trails. And this has the option to pick wheelchair accessible, paved, or level of difficulty for trails. And it will also let you see what the length of the trail is, elevation gain, the route type, whether it's a loop trail or just straight in and straight out. So I thought that was a really cool feature. And this is all across the United States, I believe. So it's not just the Michigan app. And then the next app that I have is recreation.gov, which I use quite a lot. The days of putting your money into an envelope and then putting it down a tube to reserve your camping spot, those days are pretty much over. A lot of times you have to make camping reservations, sometimes 6 months in advance if it's a popular camping place. So you can make camping reservations on here. You can see pictures of the campsites or cabin, and what type of site you're looking for, whether you're tent camping, RV camping, and accessible camping. And next slide.
Oops, sorry, I went
Oh.
one too far.
Nope, you're good.
I got to figure out how to go back. Oh,
I think it just had our information. There we go.
Yep.
So you can contact us at any time. Again, I'm Jileesa Irwin, and my email is jileesa@mymdrc.org. And Laura.
I'm Laura Hall, and my email is Laura, Laura, @mymdrc.org. Again, we have the demo line listed, and then the link to request a demonstration, which is also on your resource guide for today. And the final thing that we wanted to do is just have a few minutes of reflecting on the session. First of all, did anyone learn anything new, see anything new, see something? We know that Kelly is going to be asking for a demonstration of the hand warmer. Anybody else learn anything new or see anything new today that particularly excited them?
Yeah, and feel free to unmute and say it or type it in the chat. And while you're doing that, I just wanted to point out that, or just ask if any of you have a disability and this has happened to you, or if you know anyone with a disability that has stopped their favorite outdoor activity, or they're having a hard time with it, they can give us a call and we can talk out what might work and provide AT for demo or loan and we want to help people with disabilities keep up their favorite activities. And if there is no comments or questions, I might put on some music and we can fill out some surveys, but I see Kelly has her hand raised, so go ahead, Kelly.
You can disregard.
Then I was just kidding.
I was going to mention the survey.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, I've put the link in there, but I'll do again, put the link just for the survey in there one more time, and I'll play some music. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. I can always turn my music off and we can have a little chat. I will stop going live on Facebook though, but we will.
Thank you so much for filling out the survey information too. It really does help us know if we're going in the right direction with the trainings that we're providing and how helpful these are, as well as provide some important data for our funders to keep our program going. So we really do appreciate it.
All right. Okay, and I will. Laura, if you could stop sharing. Oh, do we have the Facebook link? Bethany says, great ideas. Julie asked, or Julie said, thank you for the Tech Tuesday training, much appreciated. And I will put the Facebook link in the chat. And let me know if you can hear the music or not. Anne says, thank you for doing this. All right, let me get that link for you.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood.
Rebecca says, thank you, great information. And I believe the Facebook link is also on the resource page, but I'm still gonna get that for you.
Every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it. 'Cause everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark,
And again, thank you everyone so much for attending. And I was just someone just let me know the tiny URL isn't working for some reason. So I'm gonna put a different link in the chat for you.
Was that for the survey?
Yes. Or was that the survey, Ajane?
I think that's the demo.
Okay, so the survey should work. Oh, Ajane was just kidding. She said it's working now.
Great job, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone
Thank
for
you.
attending.
And
Please
Abby,
feel free to
share your
reach out.
playlist. Share your playlist with me.
I will. I got you. Don't worry.
Thanks.
walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed,
I hope everyone has a good day.
never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, feeling good, like I should.
Also, Jessica, I see you. Hi. And thank you to our interpreters and to Annette, our captioner. Laura says, thank you so much. Thank you, Laura, for joining. And for anyone who was wondering, that song name was Sunday Best by Surfaces. All right, and thank you again, everyone. I'm gonna end our meeting.
See you next month.
Yep, hope everyone has a great day. Our next Tech Tuesday is AT for gardening.